Anhiali's skin was highly sensitive to touch, as well as very aware of her surroundings, and was able to sense and feel everything through her touch. She could touch the clothes and know where they had been. She could touch fruit and know how it was harvested and where it came from. She took in all the information, feelings, emotions, experiences through her touch. So her hands, when she touched you, you had a certain feeling, a beautiful feeling that sent you traveling among the realms. Unless her touch was not for you, it had the opposite effect. You would get a shock. On her left leg, all the way to her ankle, she had a tattoo of a triangle pointing downwards, then a circle, then another triangle pointing downwards, then a circle, and another triangle, and another circle decorating her leg. On her right leg, on her upper thigh, were colored in circles, one into the other, with an arrow shooting outwards. She often wore her satin orange cloak that came down to her lower back, with her orange silky shorts, and an orange top with a belly button ring and gold waist chain. On her left arm, she wore a golden bracelet with the symbol of fire, with 3 dangling charms of flames. Upon her right arm, wrapped around a bicep, she wore an arm cuff of her spirit animal, the Ugnobali. The Ugnobali was a sea creature that looked like a seahorse, yet broader with wings. It was green with 2 orange streaks running alongside its body like a serpent. The Ugnobali were born among the fire. The eggs were placed in fire where they remained until they hatched. Upon hatching, they flew up into the sky, sparkling while hovering over the flames, so they could become acquainted with the air and slowly merge with both elements of fire and air. When first born, they were all orange and so very, very tiny, resembling more of a seahorse. There were never more than 5 eggs at a time, and they hatched at different times. Perhaps they were Anhiali's spirit animal because they too danced in the sky. Their movements were elegantly graceful and fluid as they flew through the flames, dancing and fluttering their wings like they were little children playing. This too was their way of connecting to the fire. There were many animals in Ifestos, and all of them were born in the flames. If not in eggs, the mother would step into the flames when she was giving birth. The flame was there to nourish all those who were from the land of Ifestos. The fire would communicate with the baby inside every creature as the mother was going through the birthing process, as if the fire was their other mother, and also a mother to the mother, supporting her as she went through her birth. It was a beautiful process and a very rewarding, pleasurable experience for the mother, child, and fire. The flames acted as sort of her breath, assisting her as she breathed through her contractions, providing each one of her breaths and contractions with ample, soothing heat to ease the pain and give her strength. In the land of Ifestos lived a special kind of deer. Its body was half orange and half light brown, with one orange eye and one brown one. They were very common here. One such deer was Ifestos, a very good friend of Anhiali. He was very young. His horns had not sprouted yet. She had met him among the grasslands one day. The deer gravitated naturally towards Anhiali. Her friend Iposh had made a special invention. One day he lent it to her, and that day she went to the grasslands with it. It was metal, cylindrical, and long. She did not ride her bicycle there. She used it to help her carry the machine more easily. Anhiali was wearing an orange fabric which wrapped around as shorts on the left side and pants on the right. The grassland was vast, with only grass visible for miles and miles. When she reached a nice spot she felt was appropriate to try it, she placed the machine on the ground and pressed the red button she was instructed to press. A beam of light projected out into the field, illuminating the grass. She placed herself in it, and her body moved into a horizontal position, as if she was laying on her back, and with the press of another button, off she was, floating above the ground. The machine allowed her to hover a little bit over the grass, right above it. It then created fire around her body, as if it was her aura. It wasn't close enough to touch her skin, but surrounding the core of her body. She then whispered a name of a song, and the music began. That's not quite what I want, she said, and so she whispered another, and the music changed. That's it, she said. Anhiali began to move her arms, at first dancing to the music. This feels wonderful, she exclaimed. She began to move her hips and legs more, adding them to her dance. Moving around in different locations, it felt like dancing in the air while flying. Slowly, Anhiali began to feel freer with her movements. Now, she was able to stand up vertically and move with her feet above the grass, slightly touching them, gently rubbing her feet like a soothing massage as she danced while the fire blazed around her. It was an incredible feeling. Although normally Anhiali was connected to the fire and moved with it, now the fire was moving her. As the machine moved and shifted, the fire moved with it. It was a most beautiful sensation, being surrounded by fire as she danced with her hood upon her head and her braided hair peeking through to one side. This was the day she met Ifestos. He spotted her from the distance and was mesmerized by the beautiful sight. Wow, he thought. This is the most spectacular thing I've ever seen. He approached Anhiali, where he could watch her closer without disturbing her. A few moments later, Anhiali had finished her dance and was back among the grasses. Ifestos then walked over to Anhiali, thanking her for such a lovely sight. She showed him the machine and asked if he would like to try it. Of course, he accepted with excitement. Anhiali pressed the button and he slowly began floating above the grasses as music began to play in the ball of fire. Ifestos closed his eyes as his body began moving around in the machine and started laughing. He didn't dance, but felt so relaxed than ever before in his life. He loved it. Since that day, he and Anhiali became really good friends, sharing many lovely, exciting adventures together.